A warm greeting to you all. Today we delve into an exploration of the Psalms. We embark on a poetic journey through the first 10 chapters of this timeless biblical book. Each chapter, a unique tapestry woven with wisdom, comfort, and divine praise. These Psalms, they whisper ancient truths and inspire us to reflect on our own experiences. We'll explore the contrasts between the righteous and the wicked, contemplate the roles of kings and rulers, and seek solace in morning and evening prayers. We'll navigate through prayers for guidance, mercy in times of trouble, and vindication. We'll marvel at the majesty of God and the dignity of man. And finally, we'll express our gratitude for divine justice. This exploration is not just a recitation of words, but an invitation to immerse in the profound depths of human emotions and spiritual wisdom. So, ready your hearts and minds, and join us on this journey of wisdom, comfort, and divine praise. We begin with Psalm 1, a vivid contrast between the righteous and the wicked. This psalm paints a picture of two paths that we can walk in life. One of righteousness, guided by the wisdom of God's law, and one of wickedness, led astray by the follies of the world. The righteous, as depicted in this psalm, are those who find their delight in the law of the Lord. They are like trees planted by streams of water, bearing fruit in its season, and their leaves do not wither. In all that they do, they prosper. Their lives are deeply rooted in the wisdom of God's law, drawing nourishment and strength from it. They are steadfast, resilient, and fruitful, enjoying a prosperity that is both inner and outward, spiritual and material. Contrastingly, the wicked are likened to chaff that the wind drives away. Chaff is the worthless part of the grain, separated from the valuable kernel during the threshing process. It is light, dry, and easily carried away by the wind. This metaphor paints a picture of the transient and unsubstantial nature of wickedness. The wicked, unlike the righteous, do not have deep roots in God's law. They are driven by the winds of their own desires, whims, and fancies. Their lives lack substance, stability, and purpose. This psalm ends with a solemn warning. It tells us that the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. The way of the wicked will lead to destruction, while the Lord watches over the way of the righteous. It's a potent reminder of the consequences of our choices. Such is the stark contrast between those who follow God's law and those who stray. Psalm 1 invites us to ponder on these two paths, urging us to choose the path of righteousness, to delight in God's law, and to live a life that is deeply rooted, fruitful, and enduring. Scene script. Next, we turn to Psalm 2, a divine warning to the kings and rulers of the earth. This psalm presents a vivid tableau wherein earthly rulers in their arrogance and vanity conspire against the Lord and His Anointed One. They believe they can cast off the divine yoke and break free from the bonds of righteousness. Such is the folly of mortal men who attempt to challenge the divine order, not realizing the futility of their efforts. The psalmist paints a picture of a rebellious world where kings and rulers plot in vain. They rise in revolt, shaking their fists at the heavens, oblivious to the fact that the very cosmos they challenge is governed by a sovereign power far beyond their comprehension. However, the Lord, in His infinite wisdom and boundless power, merely laughs at their audacity. He scoffs at their futile attempts to defy His divine order. With a mere word, He can quell their rebellion, and with a mere thought, He can reduce their grand plans to dust. Then, the voice of the Lord thunders from the heavens, admonishing these earthly rulers, reminding them of their place in the grand scheme of things. He warns them that His Anointed One, His chosen King, will rule the earth from Zion, His holy hill. The Lord's decree is clear and unequivocal. He has installed His King, and His dominion is unassailable. The kings and rulers of the earth are advised to serve the Lord with fear and to rejoice with trembling. They are urged to pay homage to the Son, lest His wrath be kindled, and they perish in the way. But this psalm is not merely a warning, it also offers a promise. For those who acknowledge the Lord's sovereignty, who submit to His rule and take refuge in Him, there is a blessing. They find protection under His wings, they bask in His grace, and they flourish in His love. Indeed, blessed are all who take refuge in Him. Psalm 3 offers us a morning prayer of trust in the face of adversity. Imagine waking up, the morning air still fresh, the day still new, and being confronted with a swarm of challenges, uncertainties, and foes. It's in these moments that Psalm 3 shines its comforting light, offering a prayer of trust, a beacon of hope amid the storm. Psalm 3 is a heartfelt cry to God, a plea for protection when seemingly insurmountable odds surround us. It speaks of a trust so profound, so unwavering, that it transcends the immediate physical threats and anchors itself in the divine. It's not just about the assurance that God will protect us, but a deep-seated belief in his unchanging character. In this psalm, we encounter an individual beset by countless foes, yet he doesn't despair. Instead, he lifts his voice to God, declaring, "You, O Lord, are a shield around me, my glory, and the one who lifts my head high." It's a proclamation of trust, a testament to God's faithfulness, a statement of defiance against the trials of life. This trust doesn't mean the absence of fear or doubt. It's about acknowledging them and choosing to believe in God's protection and deliverance despite what we see or feel. It's about declaring with conviction that our God is bigger than any challenges we face. It's about finding peace in the midst of turmoil, knowing that our God is with us, always. Psalm 3 is an invitation to trust God with our mornings, our days, and our lives. It's a call to start each day not with worry, but with faith, not with fear, but with hope. It's a reminder that in every season of our lives, be it calm or stormy, God is our refuge and strength, our ever-present help in times of trouble. So as we face the trials of today and the uncertainties of tomorrow, let us echo the sentiments of the psalmist. I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear though tens of thousands assail me on every side. From the Lord comes deliverance. May his blessing be upon his people. As day turns into night, Psalm 4 provides us an evening prayer of trust. As the sun dips below the horizon and the world is bathed in the soft glow of twilight, Psalm 4 invites us to surrender our worries to the divine. It's a quiet whisper in the stillness of the evening, a gentle reminder that in every moment we are held within the tender grasp of the Almighty. In this psalm, the psalmist seeks God's favor, a plea that resonates deep within our hearts. We are reminded that our prayers are not just words tossed into the void, but heartfelt dialogues with the Creator. Our voices, although small in the grandeur of the universe, are heard. They echo in the infinite expanse, reaching the ears of the divine. This psalm reassures us that our prayers are not in vain, that every word is captured and held close to God's heart. The psalmist also emphasizes the importance of righteousness, of maintaining our integrity even in the face of adversity. It is a call to stand firm in our beliefs, to hold on to the truth that we know in our hearts. In a world where it is all too easy to lose our way, Psalm 4 is a beacon, guiding us back to the path of righteousness. The psalmist's words serve as a reminder that our actions should always reflect our faith, that our deeds should be the embodiment of the love and compassion we have received from God. But above all, Psalm 4 is a testament of trust in God's safety. It's a declaration that in the shelter of his wings we will find refuge. It's a proclamation that with God as our fortress, we need not fear the darkness. This psalm instills in us a sense of peace, a tranquility that comes from knowing we are protected, that we are safe in his care. The evening prayer of Psalm 4 is a balm for our weary souls, a soothing melody that lulls us into a peaceful slumber. It's an assurance that as we close our eyes and surrender to the night, we are enveloped in his divine protection. In peace, we will lie down and sleep, for the Lord alone makes us dwell in safety. With Psalm 5, we begin our day with a prayer for guidance. As dawn breaks, we turn to Psalm 5, a morning prayer steeped in hope and anticipation for the day to come. The psalmist, with a heart open and raw, implores God for guidance, seeking his divine direction as the day unfurls. It's an intimate conversation, a whispered plea in the quiet hours of the morning, a beacon of faith in the face of uncertainty. In the psalmist's plea, we witness the profound trust in God's righteousness, a steadfast belief that God, in his infinite wisdom and boundless love, will guide the path of the righteous. This righteousness is not a static concept. It is active. It is dynamic. It is the divine compass by which we navigate our journey, the guiding light that illuminates our path. This psalm is not just a plea, but also a reflection on the nature of God, his righteousness, his love, his guidance. It paints a picture of God as the ultimate source of truth and the beacon of moral guidance. The psalmist acknowledges that God detests wickedness, and those who choose the path of evil will not stand in God's presence. It serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of straying from the path of righteousness. Yet in the midst of this solemn warning, there is a promise of protection. The righteous, those who walk in the light of God's truth, are not alone. They are enveloped in God's favor, shielded by His grace. It's a comforting assurance, a promise of divine protection that provides solace amidst the storms of life. The psalmist ends his prayer with a resounding affirmation of faith, a testament to the enduring power of God's love. It is a reminder that despite the challenges we may face, we can find solace in the righteousness of God and in His divine guidance. Surely God blesses the righteous. He surrounds them with His favor as with a shield. This is the promise of Psalm 5, a morning prayer for guidance, a beacon of hope at the start of each new day. In times of trouble, Psalm 6 is a heartfelt prayer for mercy. It's a plea that resonates deeply with us, especially when we find ourselves in the midst of a storm, feeling overwhelmed and in need of divine intervention. This psalm is a raw and honest expression of distress. The psalmist is not holding back, not trying to put on a brave face. He's laying bare his soul, expressing the depth of his pain and suffering. He's weary from groaning, his bed is drenched with tears, his eyes are consumed with grief. These are powerful images that evoke a sense of profound sadness and desperation. But what shines through this psalm is not just the depth of the psalmist's distress, but also his unwavering faith in God's mercy. He is confident that God will not turn a deaf ear to his pleas. He acknowledges his frailty, his human inadequacy, and humbly seeks God's mercy. "Be merciful to me, Lord," he pleads, "for I am faint." This is a plea from a heart that knows its own limitations, a heart that knows it cannot go on without God's mercy. And then, in the midst of his anguish, there's a shift. The psalmist's confidence in God's mercy shines through. He's confident that his prayer has been heard. He's confident that God will answer. He boldly declares, "The Lord has heard my cry for mercy." This is not a hollow statement of optimism. It is a statement of faith, a declaration of trust in the God who is merciful and compassionate. So, even in our times of trouble, even when we are at our lowest, let us remember the words of the psalmist. Let us remember to seek God's mercy, to lay bare our soul before Him, to express our distress and our need for His intervention. And let us also remember to have confidence in His answer, to trust in His mercy, to declare with faith, "The Lord has heard my cry for mercy. The Lord accepts my prayer." Psalm 7 is a fervent prayer for vindication in the face of false accusations. It's a testament to our inherent desire for justice, a longing that resonates deep within us. This psalm is a plea, a cry for the divine judge to intervene. The psalmist David is not just seeking any form of justice, he is seeking God's justice. There's an understanding here that God's justice is impartial, uncorrupted, and perfect. David knows that human justice can be flawed, influenced by biases and prejudices. But God's justice, it's pure, untainted by the imperfections of mankind. David is not just blindly crying out for justice, though. He's declaring his innocence. He pleads with God, asking Him to judge him based on His righteousness, His faithfulness. In essence, he is saying, "God, you know my heart, you know I am innocent. Please let your justice prevail." There's an immense trust there, a trust in God's ability to discern the truth. But there's something else to be gleaned from this psalm. It's not just about seeking justice, it's also about recognizing God as the ultimate judge. David acknowledges that God is the one who tests the hearts and minds, the one who saves the righteous, the one who brings down the wicked. He is the one who wields the sword of justice, the one who shields the innocent. David doesn't just see God as a judge, though. He sees Him as a righteous judge, a judge who upholds the cause of the innocent, who fights for the oppressed, who vindicates those who have been wronged, a judge who is not swayed by power or position, but who judges based on the truth. David ends his prayer with a note of gratitude. He says, "I will give thanks to the Lord because of His righteousness. I will sing the praises of the name of the Lord Most High." Even in the midst of his struggles, he chooses to praise God, because he knows that God will vindicate him. He trusts in God's righteousness, and that is enough for him. Psalm 8 marvels at the majesty of God and the dignity of man. As we delve into this divine hymn, we find ourselves in awe of the splendor of God's name. It is a name that resonates with power, grace, and majesty, a name that is exalted above the heavens. The psalmist paints a vivid picture of the universe, a masterpiece of God's creation, adorned with the moon and the stars, each one a testament to His glorious craftsmanship. This grandeur, however, does not make us feel insignificant, but rather highlights our own dignity. For in the vast expanse of the cosmos, mankind is not merely an observer, but an honored participant in God's creation. In His benevolence, God has crowned us with glory and honor, entrusting us with the stewardship of His works. We are given dominion over the works of His hands, over the beasts of the field, the birds of the heavens, and the fish of the sea. This responsibility is a testament to the inherent dignity of mankind. It is a dignity not earned, but bestowed by a loving Creator who values us, who sees us not as insignificant specks in the grand scheme of the universe, but as integral parts of His divine plan. Yet amidst this honor, we are reminded of our humility. For it is not by our own merit that we are elevated, but by God's grace. The psalmist echoes this sentiment, questioning, "What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him?" It is a humble recognition of our own limitations and a heartfelt acknowledgement of God's unending love and care for us. And so, as we reflect on the majesty of God and the dignity of man, we find ourselves in a symphony of praise, echoing the psalmist's closing exclamation, "O Lord our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth." We conclude with Psalm 9, a song of thanksgiving for God's justice. In the grand symphony of life, Psalm 9 is a powerful crescendo, a celebration of the divine justice that governs all existence. It is a resounding anthem of gratitude, extolling the deeds of God. It reminds us of the profound truth that every action of the divine is steeped in righteousness, every deed a testament to His unwavering fairness. Psalm 9 is a beacon of hope for the oppressed, a promise of divine intervention in the face of injustice. It echoes the age-old belief that God hears the cries of the downtrodden and responds with His mighty hand of justice. This psalm reassures us that no matter how formidable the adversities may seem, the oppressed are not forgotten. The divine scales of justice, though they may seem to waver, will always tilt towards righteousness. In the rich tapestry of this psalm, we find a stark contrast drawn between the righteous and the wicked. The righteous persist in their faith, steadfast in their trust in God's justice, while the wicked face an inevitable downfall. The fate of the wicked is not a punishment, but rather a consequence of their actions, a reflection of the divine law of cause and effect. This psalm is not merely an ode to God's justice, but also an invitation to trust in Him. It encourages us to seek God, to know His name, to recognize His justice, and to place our trust in Him. For those who seek Him, God is a refuge, a sanctuary of peace and justice in a tumultuous world. As we delve into the depths of Psalm 9, we find a powerful message of hope and faith. It assures us that God's justice is unerring, His love unfailing. It invites us to trust in Him, to seek His guidance, and to celebrate His divine justice. Those who know your name trust in you, for you, Lord, have never forsaken those who seek you. Thus, we've journeyed through the first 10 chapters of the Psalms. We've embarked on a spiritual expedition, exploring themes of righteousness, trust in God, seeking divine guidance and mercy, and acknowledging God's justice and majestic creation. We've immersed ourselves in the wisdom of these ancient songs, reminding us of the path of the righteous and the fate of the wicked. We've echoed the morning and evening prayers of trust, reinforcing our faith and confidence in the divine. We've implored for God's guidance and mercy, a beacon of hope in times of trouble. We've acknowledged the majesty of God's creation, a testament to His grandeur. And we've celebrated God's justice, a source of comfort for those who yearn for righteousness. Each psalm, a poetic beacon, illuminating our spiritual journey. May these psalms inspire you, comfort you, and draw you closer to the divine. Until next time, be well and be blessed.